All right. Hey, how's it going? Drew's Views here, back live to talk a little Steven Universe, the verse, as I like to call it. I'd recently finished season 3, and today I'm up to start season 4. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my thoughts before getting into it. Um, and actually, though, I haven't watched for a couple of weeks at this point. So it's not the most fresh thing in my mind right now, because I just embarked on kind of a long road trip that I'm kind of completing now. So my plan for today is to talk a little bit about it. If there's any questions, any people jump on this stream and want to ask some questions, I can do that as well, give my thoughts. Um, and then I'm going to live react to episode 1 and 2 of season 4. So if you're watching this, then I won't be able to get the edited version up today, hopefully later in the week. But for anyone that's live now or in the next couple minutes when I start, you could watch along with my live reaction, which I've never done before. So like I got one viewer on so far, or one commenter on so far. How you doing, Cole? Can I request that you sing the intro live? Sure, I guess. My ukulele is buried in my car, but let me see if I remember the lyrics to the song. This show is called Drew's Views. I'm doing Car Tuesday with Steven Universe, so check it out, okay? Now people love the verse, like, subscribe even. Now let's sit back and watch me watching Steven as I spill coffee on my computer. After that beautiful a cappella rendition. Not very good. I don't think my voice is sounding too hot this morning, but I gave it a try, Cole. I am going to grab a paper towel. Also, I'm just at my friend's apartment right now. I'm staying. He's like doing work in his room, like working from home. So I'm sure he's appreciating my fine melodic song while he's trying to work. But anyway. All right. So a couple commenters on here. Nice. So, like I kind of mentioned a minute ago, it's been at least 2 weeks since I finished the season 3. So again, it's not the freshest thing in my mind. Hopefully watching the first 2 episodes of season 4 will get me back into it, the groove. But my thoughts overall, I'm still really enjoying the show quite a bit. I think that maybe season 2 to me is a little more tonally consistent, or with some of the storylines they had a little more consistent. I was just pulling up the episode list for season 3 here to jog my memory on what happened all throughout the season, which a lot of things did, obviously. And it seemed like this season was a little more segmented, and like the first third was kind of the wrap up from the whole cluster deal, getting Peridot integrated, getting Lapis integrated, Steven learning a couple of his new tricks or his new skills, powers. Then there was like a whole run of episodes with the townspeople, more kind of standalone episodes. And then the back half of the season was more about, we learned more about Rose Quartz, more about the gem monsters, and the main, villain being Jasper, obviously, and then Amethyst versus Jasper and all that. So I thought it was a little more broken up. So for season 4, I'd like to see maybe a little more like consistency of, I don't know if consistency is the right word, but like all of the elements weaved in a little more. And like the main thing I'm interested in, that I've been interested in most of the time, is kind of the world building and the whole storyline of why Rose Quartz did what she did, what's going to happen with Steven now. what's up with all the other with Homeworld and all the diamonds. Just learned I remember Pink Diamond was a big thing, I guess, at the end of the season, that Rose apparently shattered her. So I definitely want to find out more about that, which I'm sure I will. And then I'm not sure what's going on with the show in general, but when I was on Twitter yesterday, I noticed that Steven Universe was like a high trending topic. So I didn't click on it. Obviously, I didn't want to any type of spoiler or anything. But I'm curious as to why that was. I don't know if there was a new episode yesterday or something, or a new season or something. But all right, so got one question on here. Are there any characters you like or don't like so far? Yeah, I've talked about it before a little bit. My favorite characters, and I would say overall, I think the show's very good at writing good characters, or funny, or there's a reason for them to be there for the most part. And I like how more and more of the townspeople have come in overall, and we learn who's related to the other. I mean, Pearl is probably my favorite, although Peridot's coming on pretty strong to me. Definitely comedy-wise, Peridot's probably the top for me. Pearl I've always liked as a good combination of comedy and pathos, or like her kind of like semi-tragic backstory. And just how she acts in general. Greg is usually good when he comes in there, and I'm a fan of the guy who does his voice actor, Tom Sharpling, so always like that. Oh, that was another big thing from season 3, kind of him getting rich. So I'm glad that's getting worked in. Okay, so thanks, Jack, telling me there is a 1-hour season finale yesterday. That would make sense then. So I guess that's the season 5 finale. I know people are frustrated. I get the sense. And I know this is a thing with Adventure Time too, and some other Cartoon Network shows, maybe not just Cartoon Network, but shows like this in general. I guess the networks or whoever makes the decision to like spread them out over like one episode won't come out for weeks at a time or something. So that's got to be frustrating. But okay, hola Jorge. So yeah, for characters I like, and then as in terms of the what I would call the audience surrogate type of character, I would think that's Connie, and I'm a fan of her character as well. And when I say audience surrogate, because you kind of like, she's more of like the normal human, and you kind of learn more about the world through her sometimes. And I just like her personality too. So those are my favorite characters, probably. I wouldn't say Steven himself is my favorite character, but he's still like, it's still a great character to anchor the whole show around. So it's kind of underrated. He's kind of underrated in that regard, I guess. But I like most of the characters. In terms of who I don't like, I'm trying to think. I don't know if anyone's jumping off to me. Well, it happened in season 3. I will say the Ruby's characters are a little bit annoying to me in the episodes they've been in, so I haven't loved them, or at least when the times the show's chosen to include them. To me, they're just like a little bit too dumb, I guess, or annoying. But yeah. And then sometimes I don't always love the Laura Sadie stuff. Maybe they go to them a little bit too often sometimes to me, but they still have some good episodes with those characters. All right, so whatever dude says, I hope someday you start reacting to Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. You know what? I watched the first 2 episodes of that show on Netflix. I don't know if I'd go. I kind of fell off after that. I guess I could try reacting to it sometime. I have done some longer shows, but one thing about those is they do take a lot more time, obviously, just to watch and then to edit in all of that. So the 1-hour shows are tough, especially those Netflix ones are like 60 minutes long, not unlike a TV channel with commercials that it's like 40 minutes or whatever. But I remember watching Sabrina when I was a kid, like the original one with Melissa Joan Hart in the 90s. People on here are probably too young for that. I don't know. But and so like I was kind of interested in it because I like Kiernan Shipka, that actress from that show Sabrina. So and I was a fan of her on the show Mad Men. I don't know if anyone's watched that. Recommend that, but I might get back to Sabrina. I don't know about doing a reaction for it, but it's possible. Anyway, back to the verse here. I don't know if anyone's got any more questions for me that's on here in terms of Steven Universe. But in a few minutes, I'm going to start reacting to the new season. The painting from behind, yeah, that's my friend's artwork on his wall, or not his, but he's got a bunch of interesting artwork all up on the wall there. Kind of like some absurdist surrealism. Yeah. But that's right, Jorge. So I'm just gonna look at the list of episodes again. Oh, you know what? In terms of characters, I don't like that much. My memory just got jogged looking at the list here of the episode names. I've never been a big fan of Anya, and I think I mentioned it before that he's kind of weird for weirdness sake to me a little bit, and especially the parts where with like him and his dad, who I think is Yellowtail, I think. They like talk in their made up language. That part I've never loved, that element. So, and even Steven himself is like weirded out by Onion, which is funny, but so maybe you're not supposed to like him. I don't know. So all right, Cole's asking, what do you think the strongest and weakest episodes of the season were? So when we get to weakest, the weakest to me was probably that first Ruby episode, and partially it was because of where it was placed. So the start of the season, I remember, was really good. And you know, in terms of episodes I liked, the first episode of the season, which is called Super Watermelon Island, I thought that was a really cool way to start the season off. It kind of puts you like on the back foot of like, well, what's going on right now? We're not with Steven. I mean, it was the Steven Watermelon, but which I didn't even realize or think necessarily we'd even see those characters again. But when you're there and then you kind of find out what's going on, and then the fusion comes out of the water. Now I'm blanking on what the damn fusion's name is, but Lapis and Jasper, Malachite is the name. When you see them come out and like sacrificing to it, that was like a really cool way to start the season off, I thought. But then then we had the Lapis Peridot thing coming back. Those were all good episodes. Then it kind of hit like a little skid for me with the episode called Hit the Diamond. I thought that was a little anticlimactic way to end things, because I was expecting maybe to see Yellow Diamond herself or like something a little more serious with it than just the Rubies getting tricked and leaving. Then obviously they came in at the end of the season, which I like that episode better, which was Back to the Moon. But overall, those are probably some of the weaker episodes with them. But something actually about Back to the Moon I thought was interesting, that one of the commenters on my channel a lot, Diana, she had told me something interesting or commented something interesting about that Moon episode. Apparently there was, which I agree with, there was a plot hole where the Diamonds drop them off. They obviously think it's Jasper, Purple Jasper, because of Amethyst doing the tricking them. Then they're about to leave, and then it's like the classic comedy thing, like they just get caught at the end. But what Diana pointed out was if the Diamonds didn't come back and like find out what's going on, they would have just, the Crystal Gems and Steven would have just been trapped on the moon there. So she's saying, is that a plot hole, or was there some other thing? But I think it was just like a plot hole, I guess, which is kind of interesting. The show's pretty good about not doing that sort of thing. But anyway, other episodes on the season, let me see here. The Mr. Greg episode was interesting. I don't think it was my favorite, but there was definitely some good elements into it. And according to Wikipedia here, it says it was nominated for Emmy Award for Outstanding Short Form Animation. So that was the musical one. I did really like that Pearl musical number in that one. The Steven Floats episode, which is the one directly after Hit the Diamond, that one was probably not my favorite. Let's see here. Beach Shitty Drift, I really did like. I thought that Kevin character is kind of funny, how Steven hates him more than, I pointed out, I think, in that reaction, how Steven hates him more than like some of the actual real villains or antagonists on the show, or villains really, I guess. But I think it's supposed to be about kind of just like that one person that like really annoys you because of how they act. Greg the Babysitter, that was one of the good flashback episodes. So that was probably one of my favorites. Let's see. Yeah, and then the last episodes, Back to the Moon and Bubble, not my favorites. I do think that, but the ones before that, I did really like with Jasper versus Amethyst and all that, seeing Stevani again. I do think season 2 and season 3 have both ended a little strangely, at least in terms of like how I'm used to normal TV shows being, how they kind of like maybe like the penultimate episode of the season is like the big action, and then something, or the final episode's a big action something. And with Steven Universe, at least the seasons 2 and 3, it seems to kind of the main action and like coalescing of the storyline is like it's still toward the end of the season, but then the last few have kind of been a little slower, or like the end of season 2 was like a flashback with Peridot and all of this. So I don't know. It's different, but I don't know if season 4 is going to be like that. We'll see. I don't know what the start of. I mean, maybe I should predict what the start of season 4 is going to be here. Let me see if I can. So season 3 started like I was just talking about with that watermelon episode, and then the gem drill. So yeah, season 3 started with kind of them wrapping up the big season 2 problem. There isn't really a big season 3 problem. I mean, there's the ongoing problem of the gem monsters or the messed up fusions. What are they called there? Now I'm blanking on the main term, but that Steven's upset about, doesn't want to kill them. So that's the ongoing storyline. I know Jasper is still an ongoing storyline. I guess she has got the corruption now. That's the word, corruption. So she's still out there, but that was another thing about season 3. Like, I guess Jasper was the main antagonist, but she's just kind of doing her own thing a little bit, not really working for the Diamonds still. It doesn't seem like so. And she has her whole issues, but yeah, I would be interested in this season to see more from the Diamonds, more about this Pink Diamond backstory, more present day stuff with Yellow Diamond, trying to get a hold on things from her perspective. So I'm definitely interested in the broader world here. Let me see if I missed some comments here. Where's Pearl Pink? Yeah, sorry, Jorge, I'm not really understanding that question. But your English is pretty good overall, I would say, from your comments here. Cole says, did we get any new fusions this season? I don't know. Are you asking about last season? Did we get them, or do I think we'll get more this season? I definitely think we'll get more. And yeah, we got so Smokey. Yeah, that was interesting with Steven and Amethyst. I assume that Steven will ultimately fuse with everyone, kind of like all the main characters. So maybe we'll get that. I don't know. I might be getting spoiled on some new fusions there. So try not to spoil me anyone, or tell me stuff I haven't heard yet. I'm pretty good on spoilers for this show. I think there was only one major thing I'm spoiled on because I looked at a picture of it and even put it in a video that people were saying was a spoiler. So I think I know what one plot point is, although it doesn't, and it's something involving Garnet, but I don't really, from what I can tell, what I think I got spoiled on, it doesn't seem like that big a deal in terms of like something that's going to ruin my reactions of the plot or something, but I'll see when it comes up. I don't know if it's a season 4 or season 5 thing. But yeah, that's okay. But so yeah, and then Ultimate Ruby. I guess that's the big Ruby. So I can't remember now if this was season 2 or 3 with the Ruby and Garnet backstory, where we learned, and there was like a blue diamond, and then we saw that all that stuff, and that's the first time we saw the rubies all fuse up. I think it was probably season 2, actually, but that was some interesting backstory there. How in the past all gems only fused with their own kind, essentially, not with each other and stuff. Yeah, let me look over the list one more time here. Yeah, that must have been a season 2 episode. Bismuth was an episode from the season that was interesting in the fact that, well, it was obviously interesting the backstory we got and that what Rose did with this Bismuth character, but also that for whatever reason it was like a super long episode, which is the first time that's happened, I believe. All right. So, all right, I think what I'm going to do here is go ahead and watch episode 4. So I don't know if anyone on here is interested, but if you can just follow along to my reaction, and you're not going to see the screen of the show, but if you have it on your end and you want to like start along to it or something like that. And you can watch both. I'm going to do that. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this, I'm going to film this and then put this episode out here later in the week. Not on Car Tuesday like normal here, but let me make sure I get that taken care of. So yeah, unless anyone on here has some last minute questions before I do that or comments or something. The headphones going. All right, so I have this episode pulled up right on, I guess it looks like the intro is normal like it has been, right on the part where Steven and the 3 crystal gems are all looking right down the barrel of the camera here. I'm going to hit play on this. Whoop. Accidentally fast forwarded way ahead. That's not good. All right, let me try this again here. All right, now I'm starting, so you might hear me do a little more singing along to the theme song here. Always find a way. Believe in. And Steven. All right, kindergarten kid. So it looks like we're staying at the kindergarten, the beta kindergarten, I assume. Yeah. And I was just driving through Arizona the other day and saw a lot of kind of scenery like this kindergarten here, kind of. Ooh. That is disturbing, Pearl. What Steven wants to. That one's pretty gross looking. Do they even have corrupted gems on Homeworld? Well, the CGs aren't starting out the season too hot here. Oh, yeah, another future vision mention. I'm always curious about that. Is this going to be a Peridot based episode? I guess a Steven Peridot episode. Something tells me that they're going to have a harder time than they think. It's like a blue chicken with its head cut off, but Parody plan, I like that. Oh, yeah, Peridot did come through in not the finale there, but in the Jasper fight with her metal powers, her magneto powers. Not this time, though. Well, it's definitely not as serious of a situation. Ugh. Looks like Peridot's taking a lot of head trauma in this one. Yes, I am. Like a high-powered T-shirt cannon from basketball games. So this episode basically seems like what do you call Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner type of thing? Is that like what it's supposed to be? Because it is running around kind of like the Roadrunner too. Oh yeah, Steven floats down. That's pretty good. Uh oh. Yeah, P Dot is basically the Wile E. Coyote in this. Must be. Not sure where Steven got this bag of marshmallows from. Does he just carry that on him at all times? Steven's still trying to get P Dot to be woke. It's working slowly. Wasted good mellows there. Endless suffering, endless bag of marshmallows. Steven's trying to get her to like walk in someone else's shoes type of idea. So she's literally acting like it. Oh, Steven bubbled. I mean, will this fall really hurt them? They've been falling off a bunch of stuff. I guess it is pretty far. Got it. Has Peridot been unable to bubble previously? I know she didn't have much powers until the telekinesis stuff, but or not telekinesis, but all right. Lapis checking in for season 4, just at the very end there. Oh, so Peridot's going to keep it in their house. All right, interesting. Um, all right, so that was season 1, episode 1 of season 4. What was it called? Kindergarten Kid, right? I think it was pretty. Oh, it was clearly a slapstick-based episode. I think it was pretty clearly a reference to, like I said, the Roadrunner cartoons, with like coming up with parody plans or inventions, like Acme inventions, and then blowing up in your face. I guess the point of it would be, well, it continues the corrupted gem storyline. Obviously, I guess it was mostly more about Peridot learning even more. So we see her slowly getting integrated into like Steven and the Crystal Gems way of thinking, kind of inclusionary thinking, which I think is what the creators of the show are trying to get into as well. But first, she had all these preconceived notions of how pearls are supposed to be, how amethysts are, or peridots are, whatever, or now how corrupted gems are. And I don't know if they do have corrupted gems on Homeworld. I guess so, but Peridot did say they have nothing like that. Yeah, there's not really too much to talk about, I guess, with that episode, though, because it was mostly just kind of this pretty basic slapstick stuff. So, gonna react to the next episode 2 of the season here. Let's see what there's any more comments. Oh, people are feeling the backgrounds on that episode. All right, yeah, those were good. I do like the kindergarten too. Look, it does look like the canyons or something like that. And that's kind of the setting for those kind of old cartoons as well. So that probably goes along with their referencing. And you saw like the starry sky at night and all of that. Jorge says Steven Dot is real? ? All right. Not sure what that means, but all right, yeah. So I'm gonna go on to the next episode here. Let me dial this one up. .2. Well, Robert says he likes the next one or loves the next one. All right, interesting. And if you think we can't, we'll always find a way. It's why the people of this world, Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl, and Steven, know your fusion. All right, a fusion-based episode coming in, that would seem like. Or are they talking about their fusion of smoky quartz? Because that was like a yo-yo based weapon. Sounds like what they're talking about. So they haven't told Pearl and Garnet about it? And kind of get into it just doing the what looks like would be an arm wrestling thing. Wow, Garnet's face there is very even. I guess Future Vision didn't tell you about this, huh, Garnet? Yeah, the yo-yo weapon is really dope. I like it a lot. Two of them. That TV gets broken a lot, I feel like. Sardonyx. We're going to get some sass here from Sardonyx as usual, probably. There and there. So the normal voice actors can take a little break on this episode. That's interesting. A room will only exist if the one fusion is here. Is that what they just said? Hmm. Getting some grammar lessons, Smoky Quartz. Well, it's gonna be like a talk show. Sardonyx tonight. Quartz. That's supposed to be the background's supposed to be that one city they went to in the Mr. Greg episode, I think. Empire City. So Jasper lost her mind. That's what they said. Yeah, what else you got besides the yo-yo, Smokey? They're acting like it really is a talk show, taking a break. A little meta cartoon reference, TV reference. Footage courtesy of Cartoon Network. More meta jokes. I don't think bow and arrow is Smokey's thing. Sugilite. I don't think Smokey's gonna top anything that the other fusions are doing. Just has to do it, or it. They have to do their own thing. It's like a carnival thing. Nope. What other fusion are they gonna compare it to? There's one with all of the 3 gems together. Alexandrite, that's that one, I guess. Spit some hot fire, Smokey. Yeah, Steven Amethyst Fusion is definitely going to be someone known for gross out type of humor, I would think. It makes sense. The constant laugh track in this. Yeah, Sardonyx, your plan doesn't really work well here. Yikes. That's why they brought that up earlier. The room can't exist out of him. Now Smokey gets the chance to save the day, show what they can do. Yeah, Smokey's pretty big. He just looks small compared to Sardonyx. The yo-yo comes in handy again. take the compliment, Amethyst. I think they did used to use yo-yos as weapons in the Philippines, apparently, I've heard. All right, that was the episode. So that was an interesting one. I mean, that was kind of a strange episode, the format-wise. It was definitely breaking the fourth wall a lot with the whole talk show thing and the comments they're making. But it's kind of a little refresher on all the various fusions too, I guess, which is good. So Alexandrite's the one of the three CGs together, right? Shugalite is Garnet and Amethyst, and that was Nicki Minaj does the voice of that one. And the one which I think Amy Mann does the voice of the Pearl and Pearl and Garnet Sardonyx. The Pearl and Amethyst one, which now I blanked on the name of that one again. That's the one I can never remember, but she was briefly in that episode. So yeah, I mean, it's predictable, I guess, what would happen. Like they trying to compare it to the other fusions. Obviously, that's not going to be the same thing. You got to figure out what the individual one does best. So let me think. I mean, we still need to see a Stephen Garnet one, and we still need to see a Stephen Pearl one, and who knows, maybe like a Stephen Peridot or something like that. I could definitely see that happening. Peridot and Lapis would be interesting. Obviously, they're roommates now, barn mates now. So that could certainly be something to look out for. Let's see if I missed any comments on here. Not too much, but hi, hello to anyone who jumped on. I wasn't at the start of this. So interesting start to the season. It was it's kind of slowly continuing the storylines in each episode, the fusion and the corrupted gems, but doing kind of two like unique episodes. The first one being more of that like classic cartoon parody, I guess, or I don't know if it's called a parody or just reference or whatever. And then this last one being this talk show kind of meta episode, getting to know Smokey more. So Smokey, I think I mentioned it when she first came out, or I was told that it's supposed to be said they, not she, because it is Stephen and Amethyst together. It's kind of hard for me to remember that, but they, when they first came out, I mentioned that, Natasha Lyonne does the voice. She's from Orange is the New Black and like American Pie and stuff. Her voice is very good for someone named Smokey. It sounds like she smokes a lot or just has a husky voice. That's good casting there. I don't know who does the voice of what's her name, Sardonyx. I don't know if it's someone. I don't think it's someone famous, but it's a good job by her too. The kind of British, haughty, sarcastic-ish voice. So I don't know. I could stay on here for a couple more minutes on the live stream if anyone wants to throw any more last-minute questions or comments up for me to tackle. But otherwise, we'll probably get it on going here soon. Looks like I'm not sure where everyone's from. I know some people. I think Horace said you're from Mexico, and I know a lot of people that watch these are from, I think, Brazil or Mexico, some other South American countries and things like that. So that's always cool. Favorite fusion? I mean, I do like Sardonyx. Her dialogue is good. So I might have to go with her because also it led to a good season 2 element with that I thought was pretty interesting with Pearl tricking Garnet into doing it. And I liked when Sardonyx showed up and then the last season too to like take care of the rubies, and that didn't work out either. Steven got knocked out, so that was funny too. I think Smokey definitely has some good potential here. And Stevonnie, even though I find it pretty strange still, the concept of it, I guess sounds pretty cool too. That's another they one. So I guess when Steven's with a girl is Connie, obviously, or one of the female Oya gems, that's always going to be they. But Sardonyx definitely makes a good impression. She's the David Letterman or whatever in this episode, but and then I'm trying. I mean, yeah, the Sugar Larry one's pretty funny too. She hasn't got too much to do, but even in this episode, it was pretty funny. So yeah, I'm definitely interested. I think like I kind of mentioned a Paradise Lab. This one would be interesting. I'd like to see that one. That has potential definitely to be up there. If it happens. Song favorite. Let me think here. I mentioned before that I did like the song from that Mr. Greg one that Pearl sang about like her being still left around when Rose is gone and then Steven and all that. I'm not really good at remembering all the different songs, to be honest. So I mean, a lot of the score things too that aren't even songs, but like the little scores they put in are really good. So I would need someone I think to refresh my memory on what the different options for the songs have been, and I can remember which ones were my favorite. But so yeah, it's not a great answer for you there, but yeah. So thanks everyone that participated, that jumped on this live stream. I know I just kind of put it up last minute, so I'm glad a couple people were able to watch, and I will edit together the reaction for everyone who missed it. Obviously, there's most people that are subscribers. I will edit that together for hopefully later in the week, and then next Tuesday should have season 4, episode 3 and 4. So that should be exciting. But until then, thanks everyone. Still enjoying the verse, going strong in season 4, and I'm out of here. Peace.